Good evening, students, and a very warm welcome to all of you on this platform, online learning platform of India, ptscadexpert, which is dealing almost 30 to 35 courses online. And we have assembled here and gathered here for this course, Master Diploma in Revit Live BIM course, which is the combination of architecture plus structure plus MEP. Now, I would like to give you a brief insight on what is BIM. BIM basically refers to, is an abbreviation and refers to Building Information Modeling. Building Information Modeling is nothing but basically a holistic process or an integrated workflow wherein we manage, integrate, coordinate the data. Or most essentially, we model the data. And which data? The data which persists to a particularly build the essential building assets, the information that we feed to a particular building for its execution on site. So today, we being in a design fraternity, all of us, we belong to different segments, that is mechanical, electrical, plumbing, structure, architecture, and we are facing the issue that we have to accumulate and gather all the data, and there is the point where we face a lot of problems because the working units and the working entities of all the different platforms are different in different working units and different software. So this is where BIM, Building Information Modeling, comes into picture. That is, it is nothing but a holistic process of gathering the data and then modeling that particular data for its execution on site. So that was a brief insight on this particular course, BIM, of which the architecture segment will be led by me, and something a little bit about me, that I am architect Kumar Kapadia from the city of Surat in Gujarat, and I am passed out in 2010 and have 13 years of experience working in this field, and I have already conducted 3 sessions of this particular course, wherein I started at September 22. I started this particular batch, and right now this is the 4th batch which I am conducting. And the structure and MEP part will be led and dealt by another tutors. Okay. So now, without wasting the single minute, let's get into the interface of Revit. Okay, so this is the welcome screen of Autodesk Revit, and Revit is not the only software dealing with this integrated workflow process, that is the BIM. There are a lot of other software, but so far till date, Revit has been proven to be the best software, since it deals with all the different disciplines of the construction industry, that is mechanical, electrical, plumbing, and everything. Okay. Now, this is the course structure which you might have downloaded, or you might be aware of or not aware of. So this is how this course will be led in different segments, starting from introduction to building information modeling and new project, and all the 3D drafting commands will be taught in detail. And it might happen that few of the segments might overlap. Okay. So coming to this particular interface, the newly updated version, the latest version of Autodesk Revit 2024 is given this beautiful templates for all segments, of all disciplines, that is structure, plumbing, HVAC, that is heating, ventilation, air conditioning system, electrical, and everything. Okay, but we will be for this particular segment, I will be for this particular class or this particular course, I will be dealing with this architectural segment. Okay. So this is one of the executed project, one of the live project of the last session, that is the February batch, and you can also find the videos online on YouTube. It is uploaded. So I would like to just give you a brief insight on that. What is this? So this is the architectural model, complete architectural model, showing everything. So BIM basically means that everything in one place. So it has this presentation floor plans, working floor plans, 3D views, elevation sections, and this is the interface wherein you work multidimensional. Working multidimensional is in terms of that whatever you model in 2D automatically gets modeled in elevated in 3D also. So simultaneously you will have a third perspective, third dimension of whatever you model. Fine. So section, elevation, drafting view, details, scheduling and quantification, the most important part. Fine. And finally the sheet composition, which will have all the different disciplines of drawing assembled on one particular sheet. Now this will take a bit of time to regenerate. Just stay tuned. Some 5 to 10 seconds, not more than that. And yes, of course, the download link of this 2023 and 2024 both are provided on the under the course. Here it is. This is the text file wherein the shareable link of both the versions has been given. Okay, fine. So where we were. So this is the way how you create a sheet. You generate a sheet with different disciplines of drawings in Revit. Fine. So this was just a brief insight of this particular architectural segment and complete model, of which we are going to model one live complete project during our sessions during this particular course. So now, without wasting a single second, let's jump into the interface of Revit. Fine. So this is the interface of Revit, wherein you have the two categories. One is model categories and another is family categories. Model categories refers to the project environment. Okay. And family categories is having the file which are associated, which are the part of this particular project environment. For example, this particular project environment will have all the door, windows, everything, and those doors and windows will be the family files. Fine. So from here you can access to this particular model environment, wherein I'll click new and this dialog box pops up where it's saying new project. So it is a template file. So I'll just browse to this particular location and it will take you to this particular location, C drive program data RVT 2024, wherein if you have perfectly extracted your libraries, then you will see all this folders extracted, of which the most important are the three categories, that is family templates, libraries and template files. Okay, so template files refers to the project environment of you can see that different countries folders are also there and all these different files, but what of our use is just the two folders, that is English and English Imperial. English refers to the metric system and English Imperial refers to the feet inches system, and we will conduct this course in Imperial, that is feet inches. On to that you have the different files. See, construction, then electric, then mechanical, plumbing, residential, all the template files, also all the different template file, and this version of Revit has added this another template file, that is multi-discipline. This is the new feature which you won't find in any other version earlier than 2024, which deals with all three segments, that is structure, architecture and NP on one platform in one file. Okay, so we will start with this particular default architectural template, and I'll just open this file and open and open. Sorry for the background noise. My office is putting up on the main ring road and the metro work is going on, the mining work is going on right now. So sorry for that, but that's not much problematic. Okay, fine. So this is the welcome screen of Autodesk Revit. So hearing onto this welcome screen of Revit, the first step that you will do while coming to this particular Revit is you will set the project units, Okay, so you have to press UN. UN is the shortcut for this particular command, project units. But before that, one more thing I wanted to show you is that you might end up entering into this blank screen just like this with no toolbar or no dialog box. So in that case, what you're supposed to do is that just go to view, and under that you have this user interface. Okay, just drop that down, user interface, and you will be able to find just two things, that one is the project browser and another is the properties. Those two are the most important toolbars that we will be dealing with for our work on Revit. Fine. Once that done, another one thing I would like to bring to your notice, that this user interface has this keyboard shortcuts. So just like AutoCAD, you can also create your own shortcuts for all the commands. For example, if I just type in move, then for move, I've already in yesterday's class, I entered this M. Otherwise, in your screen, in your particular keyboard shortcut file, it will show you MV. So how can you edit that? So just click that and enter. Right now it's entered M, so I will enter MV and assign. So whatever you want to assign, and just get rid of the earlier one. But I want to keep it MV only, move M only. So I will assign that and I will get rid of MV. Fine. So that is how you add shortcuts in Revit. Another one thing is that before starting, what I wanted to show you is that, as I said earlier, we will be working in both 2D and 3D onto this. And in Revit, by default, the north is on the upper side. That if I just take you to this floor plan, then these are the elevation markers. You see that when I take my mouse and I hover my mouse to this particular marker, then it shows that elevation north. And likewise in the clockwise direction, north, east, south and west. And that is what is portrayed in this particular view cube, that is north, east, south and west, wherein the north top, the north is in front, east, south and west. Fine. One more shortcut for today is that, it is a request to all the students that just please make a note of the shortcut, because like one software has 25 to 50,000 commands and it is very difficult to remember all the commands. Okay, and also you can sit with something on your workstation wherein you can just note down or type down the doubts or queries that you encounter while I'm teaching something, and then later on once I'll ask you that anyone has any problem or doubts or queries, then that time you can shoot your doubts and queries. Okay, fine. So one more command for today is that if you want to see both the windows side by side, then you need to press WT. And another command ZA, that is zoom accent of AutoCAD, wherein in AutoCAD we enter Z, enter EX enter. Here in Revit we just need to enter ZA, so that will zoom all. Okay, and again if you want the expanded view of this, then the opposite of WT, that is TW. Fine. So now let's start, and the first thing is that after this particular few considerations, the first step that we'll do is the project units, and UN is the shortcut. Fine. So you see that if you just drop down this, then you have all the different disciplines: electrical, energy, HVAC, infrastructure, piping, structural. What we'll be dealing with this common. Okay. Revit version earlier than 2022 won't have so much of bifurcation and so much of field. After 2022, all these different fields were added to this interface, this project browser. Okay. Of this, few are not of our use. For example, cost per area, then mass density, then speed, time, volume and currency. All that is not relevant. Okay. What of our use is that what maximum we will use will be this function, this length. Okay. Distance is something pertaining to the railways and bridging work, and it is more associated with civil engineering department. Civil engineers will make more use of this particular unit, distance. What we will be dealing with is this length, wherein we have the different bifurcation: centimeters, decimeters, feet, inches, millimeters, feet and fractional inches, and so on, right? So we will be leading this course in imperial system, so I will go with feet and fractional inches. And rounding, what is this rounding? Rounding basically refers to precision of AutoCAD. You guys might be using AutoCAD, so आपको पता होगा कि what is precision. That is basically nothing but 0.0, 0.00, 0.000. That is this precision. Okay, so I will keep it nearest to 1/4 of an inch. Okay, fine. And what is this angle? Angle and rotation angle both are one and the same. That measure the degree of angle between two lines, two objects, and basically it also is useful for giving the slope to a particular ramp, or a slope, defining the slope of a sloping roof. Okay. Onto this we have different options: degrees, gradients, radians, and all this. We will be only going with degrees, and onto that rounding up to 2 decimal places. Fine. Or you can also 0 decimal places, degrees. As far as degrees is concerned, if someone is so much prone for that 0.00 and something like that, then you should always go for round figure. Okay. And this is the slope. Rotation angle is also one and the same as I said earlier, gradients and radians and all that. Okay, next is this slope. Slope refers to what do we say? So, sorry, I said that angle and rotation angle also deal with the degree of that ramp and sloping roof, but no, actually this particular segment, that is slope, onto slope we have this different categories, different fields. So onto that we will enter degrees, and onto that this is the particular field which will be dealing with the ramp and sloping roof section. Okay, fine. So angle and rotation angle will deal with the rotation, the degree of angle between two 3D objects. Fine. So with this settings, now I'll just click OK. Fine. So what next you will do is that while entering into Revit, the first step is that you will set up the levels in Revit. So let me just take you to this particular elevation and south elevation, because as I said, north, east, south. So I'll go to south elevation and you have this level line. See, if I just click this, then it says that level and 1/4 of an inch head. Fine. Now you just notice the difference. If I select this particular level line and I change it from 1/4 inch to no head, then this particular icon disappears. Okay, this particular icon disappears. This particular symbol disappears. And this again, if I'll just take this to 1/4 of an inch, then it again appears. Now I would like to bring to your notice that Revit is essentially bunch and basket of system families which are hosting different types. Just pay attention. System families, for example, this is the system family. If I just go to the edit type, then it is referencing a system family. And what is the name of that system family? What category that system family belongs to? That is level. Now this particular system family is referencing types, different types. Okay, and this particular type is referencing, again, has a lot of different properties and is referencing the nested families. There, for example, line pattern is a nested family. Okay, if you just drop this down, then you have all these different types of line styles. Just like AutoCAD, we have different line styles defined here in Revit also. Fine. So system family is referencing a type, and type is again referencing different nested families. Okay, so what I will do is that I'll just apply, and what I'll do is that I will duplicate this particular thing. So if you don't want to mess with the system family, every new project you open, that will have all the system families in its default state. But while working on a project, if you don't want to lose the settings that are provided by Revit for any particular system family, then you need to duplicate it. Okay, and that you will understand while we work, because for every command, that is wall, stair, ramp, window, door, everything, we will be working, but we will duplicate things and then work. So this is the 2D annotation. This is not having a third dimension, but as I said, we need to duplicate it, and I will call this PTS grid. Okay, PTS, not grid, sorry, PTS level. Okay, fine. And after that, I will make some changes. For example, I will just turn on this line weight to 6 and change its color to red. And line pattern is right now referencing grid 1.5 and a half. I will change it to double dash. No, not double dash. Let's select something which has a differentiation. Triple dash. Dash dot, yeah, fine. Dash dot. So, fine. This and symbol is this particular symbol. See, again, this is the nested family, wherein you have level head circle and level head no bubble. If I'll just select this to particular no bubble, then apply. Okay. Then you see the changes that reflect in this particular level line, that the symbol has disappeared, the bubble has disappeared. Okay, and this has changed thick, and also this the representation of the symbol has gone. Okay, now where do you turn on and turn off this line weight from, which is the visual aspect? So here is that particular command, thin line, TL is the shortcut. So just click that, so that will unhide the intensity of that particular line. hide the intensity, and again you will click that, that's unhide. Okay, I would like to go to edit type, and I would always like to go with symbol circle. Okay, level head circle. Now symbol that N1 and N2 default. Okay, right now you can, if you select this particular level line, then what you see on the other side is this particular box popping up which says that show bubble. If you just click it, then manually you can turn on or off the bubble for this particular line, for this particular segment. Okay, and if you just turn off, then that will disappear. But if you just tell Revit onto this particular customized PTS family that we have designed, that I want symbols at both the ends, that by default whenever you will lay the another level, next level, it will place the symbols on both the ends. So just to show you that, I will press this level, and where can it be accessed from? So this is that command level. LL is the shortcut. Fine. So Revit has this beautiful feature that whenever you hover onto any command, it will pop up that little animation showing that what the command refers to. Okay, so I will just click LL, that is the shortcut, and as soon as I click, you know that you see that it activates this temporary dimension. These are called the temporary dimensions. Okay, and I will just go 9 feet 6 inches down, and then I will click. Okay, and that level is made. Now I will just select this level and change it to our PTS level. So what do you notice? That it had changed its color, its thickness, its type, and now the bubble, the representation symbol is representing on both the ends. So what I'll do is that I will just select this, and you see this particular dot. Not be able to visualize, then just put the drop down on. Okay, this particular dot, and just drag it and snap to the end point. Okay, this is how you create a level. Also, you have an ability to rename this. I will call this 0 basement level. Fine. Yes. 0 ground, or let's say road dash ground level. Okay, sorry, and let me change this all to PTS level. Fine, and this would be essentially 1 plinth level. Yes, and whenever you click this, you see that this temporary dimensions pops up, which you can edit. So I'll just click this point and say that, let's assume that there is a plinth of 18 inches, that is 1 feet 6 inches. So now what you notice is that both this lines have overlap, both the text of this level and this level are overlapping. So what to do in this case? One option is that this is the visual scale, which is the visual scale which you can grade down for the proper visual appearance, or you can keep it what it is. But let's just assume that you want to take out printout in this particular scale. Then how to deal with this problem? So you have an ability in Revit, whenever I select this particular level line, you see this toggle icon, add elbow. If you just click this, with that you can just take this above and separate it. Okay, so now both the levels are properly readable. Fine, you can do the same options on the other side also, but right now, just to save time, I will proceed on further. Fine, next is I'll add one more level at the typical distance of 3 meters, that is 10 feet, to upper ground floor or first floor. Let's say first floor. Fine, first floor is laid at the distance of 10 meters, and again I will just drag this, or let's add one more level and then drag both of them together. LL and 9 feet 6 inches, that would be third terrace level. Okay, just snap it till here and then snap both the line till this point. You see that how beautifully it snaps to PTS level. Fine. Now what in case if you want to drag this particular symbol, then that is also possible. Right now when I click this particular any of the level, you see that it highlights this particular dotted line, and you have this padlock which shows that this particular point is locked here. So in this case, if we want to move this, then what do we do? See, in this case, if I select any of the, all the levels are pinned together on this line and locked. But just because we change this particular level to a different height, so that's why it is showing only this much. Fine. In this case, if I just want to drag this outside, then what we need to do is that change this from 3D to 2D. And as soon as you change this from 3D to 2D, this little dot appears. Okay, and just drag this dot, and then you can beautifully take it outside. Yes. Okay. Sorry. And now after, so this is how you lay levels in Revit. Fine. Again, if you want to club it, then what you need to do is just drag this particular, sorry, not that, drag this particular point to this, and again it will be logged and in one alignment. Fine. So this was how about you, how you lay levels in Revit. Okay, the next command now. After laying levels, the next command for today is that architecture and grid, GR. GR is the shortcut. Okay. For that, I need to lay some walls. Of course, wall command is altogether a different topic and a huge topic which will take around 2 to 3 days to complete. But right now, just to show you that command properly, I need to lay some walls. And WA is the shortcut. WA, just by pressing the W play, you can also lay a wall. I will just lay few walls. Okay. And the students from yesterday's class will not answer that question, and the newly joined students will answer the question once I lay that. So GR is the shortcut, and you see that automatically it snaps. So drafting becomes so easy in Revit. So I will just snap one, or maybe from this end to this, 1 and 2, and GR again 3. Let's change the chronology, A, and GR again from here till this end, B. Okay. Now will from the newly joined students, will anyone tell that what is this? You can turn on your mic and tell.
Grid levels, sir.
Grid levels. You are working in you are right now in floor plan here. No.
It's a grid line for columns.
Do you call it grid line? Do you call it grid line?
Yeah.
No, we call it center line or face line. Might be in your vicinity you might be calling it grid line, but the more appropriate term for it is center line or face line. Okay, fine. So this is how you lay grid line, and grid line essentially whatever it may be, face line or center line in Revit. Okay, the purpose of this particular grid line doesn't only extends to it's not only for laying the center line or the face line, but it far beyond than that, and that I will show when that particular point will come. I'll show you that what is the importance of this particular laying this particular grid lines in Revit. Okay, now we need to add this angled line. We need to add this angled line for this, and for that GR. So these are the drafting tools by which you can, right now by default this line is selected. You can also select arc. Okay, and also you can pick lines with this command, pick line. If I just say that I'll pick lines and offset of, since the thickness of this wall is for 8 inches, I'll enter 4 inches. 4 inches. And when I snap, you see that it snaps, and that particular grid line will be created with that alignment. Okay, another way is that you can add multi-segment. Okay, with multi-segment, again you need to pick line in order to have one homogeneous continuous line, 4 inch, and just click 1 and 2, and then what you oops, select this and drag it till the farther extreme point, outermost point. Fine. And then the line command L and just snap it. Fine. Okay, and just finish. So that particular grid line is created following that particular shape and that alignment. Likewise, again, grid and multi-segment and pick lines and offset of 4 inch and click. Okay, and just take it to the extreme outermost point in this direction also, and create 2 simple lines, 1 and 2. Fine, and just finish it. Okay, so now that is following the order. So again, we need to manually change it. So this needs to be 4 and 2 and 3. Okay, so just like just like level lines, this grid line can also be edited and has the same properties. But this is the system family. This is the system family which has 3 different types already defined within. So we will just see the difference between them. So what I'll do is that I'll select these 2 lines, and you see this eyeglasses here, temporary hide isolate. I'll just click that and I will say that isolate element. Okay, in detail what is this, what are the rest other different commands, I will show when the time comes, but right now I will say that isolate element. So that will isolate those 2 elements only. Now whenever I'll click this particular one grid line, and if I'll change it to custom gap, then what you notice that it has divided into 2 segments, wherein you can see that this is one segment, and then there is the dash line, and again there is a full line. Okay, so this is different to this particular grid line in that way. Again, I will say that bubble gap. Okay, so that center segment has disappeared. Fine. So how to make such a customization? So just like level line, we will also make a custom grid line. Okay, so I will show you that. So again, let me change it to what it was and select that and edit type. While going to edit type, again see system family, and instead of level, now we are showing that grid, and that particular grid is referencing 3 different families. So I will just duplicate this and call it PTA grid line. Oh yeah, grid line. Fine. And onto that you have this symbol, first option, wherein you say that grid line, grid head circle and no bubble. With the circle selected, you can see this annotation, this bubble on the top. If I just select this no bubble and click apply and OK, then that bubble will disappear. See, and now you just have the numerics, the number. Okay, so my preference is that I want to go with circle. Then you have 3 options onto this center segment, whether you want the center segment to continuous, none, or custom. So with continuous, what you see is that the center segment appears. If I just go to edit type and if I just change this to none and apply, then you see that the center segment disappears. Okay, so this is that third option, this bubble gap, okay, which we have made customized in our own way. But I would like to say that I don't want it neither to be continuous, neither to be none, but I want custom. So as soon as I enter this custom, so see the properties for the center segment and end segment both get activated. So we will see each of them. Center segment, I want the line weight to let's say that, yeah, center segment 4, fine, and the color to something graphic, let's say red. Okay, and grid line, I want it to be just dot 3/16 of an inch, or let's say 132 of an inch. Yeah, fine. And now we have the properties for end segment. So end segment refers to this part, wherein I would like to say that the line weight to be 6 and color to be blue. Okay, and with that I would just like to select that the end pattern should be what do we say, hidden. Yeah, fine. Admit. And yes, after that you have this end segment length, but before that let's see that what difference that it make. Fine. So you see that it has changed its representation to this type, this particular type, wherein you have the end segment and the center segment, wherein the center segment is showing this particular type of line. Okay, so now let's proceed further. The end segment pattern. End segment pattern we have changed to hidden, and now the end segment length. So depending upon the wall, let's say HR, if you see, if you just click this, eyeglasses, then you remember that we have temporarily isolated this two lines. If I just press HR is the shortcut, it will unhide it. Okay, fine. So depending upon the length of your wall, you need to change this end segment length, which is right now 1 inch. If I enter 2 inch, then it will become, see, it will extend up till this point, but we want it till here only. So let's go for 0.75, that is 3/4 of an inch. 0.34. Okay, fine. So that is proper, I guess. And the last, that is whether you want symbols at both ends. Yes, I want the symbols at both ends. Okay, so now with this I will select this line and I will press SA. What is SA? That is select similar. So you can do that by clicking right click, and it says that select all instances visible in entire view or in entire project. I'll say that an entire project or entire view, one and the same. So that might have selected all of, no, it didn't select. Select one and SA, selecting. Oh yeah, just because, yeah, fine. Just because we edited that, so that command is not working for that. You select this particular thing which is not edited and just select SA. So you see that all the lines are selected. Here it says that multiple families selected. This particular thing is customized and it's not having another instance of that. So that's why that command was not working. I will just select this and press SA. So it will select all this particular types of lines, multiple families, and I will change all of them to PTS grid line. Okay. So this is how you lay the grid in Revit. Okay, so now one topic is clear, and this was already taught, but just a recap for those who know, just for the short of revision. And now for the newly joined students, I would like to ask that, do you have any doubts or queries, or would you like to share something regarding what all taught up till now? Because now we are going to start with the wall command. You can shoot your questions and answer. You can shoot your questions, I will answer. You have any doubts or queries regarding anything or what all taught up till now?
सर वो एक बार वो शॉर्टकट वाला बता दीजिए ना.
Yes, very good. Okay. Yes. So see, right now I select this particular wall and I press M enter. So you can move this wall, right? I will go to view and user interface and keyboard shortcuts, and I will look for that move command. Okay, which is right now having M enter as a shortcut. I will just enter MB and say assign, and I will just remove this particular thing and OK. So now when I select this wall and press M, then that will not move because I have changed the shortcut to that, and you have to press MB. That comes with default by Revit, and now it will move. Okay, are you clear? Anyone else?
Yes, sir.
Anyone else? Anything regarding what all taught so far?
Yeah. Sir.
Yeah, Nitish.
Sir, in case of levels, like if I have created level 0, 1 and 2, and now if I delete the level 2 and I create a new level, then I get the level 3 as the default level. I'm not getting level 2 again. So the numbering gets disturbed.
Yeah. Good that you practiced. You have practiced it, na? Yesterday's session?
Yeah, I was just practicing it right now. I was doing it right now.
Okay. But that is not a big issue here. You just need to double click and rename it. For example, see, if I just, this is the terrace level, 3
Okay,
terrace
fine.
level. Yeah. The numbers I have just given it for the chronological order, because I want that in my project browser, under the two categories, that floor plan and ceiling plan, this particular level should follow the chronology. That's why I have given this 0, 0, 1, 2, 3. Otherwise, it's not necessary. You can follow your own standards. That is my personal choice that I want it in order, and that's why I have renamed it that way. Anyways, good. Good that at least someone practiced. Okay, anyone else?
Sir, what will be the daily class timing?
Yes, the daily class timing, the class will be conducted from Monday to Thursday, 6:30 to 7:30, Monday to Thursday, okay? Or for which first 50 minutes will be the uninterrupted session of teaching. Just because today is the first day for you, so that's why I'm asking for doubts and queries in midway. Otherwise, 50 minutes will go uninterrupted without any doubts and queries, and last 10 to 15 minutes will be for doubts and queries session, but those doubts and queries will be pertaining to topic taught on that particular day. For example, today I taught wall, then the doubts and queries for end 15 minutes will be only pertaining to wall, and weekly once, that is on Sunday, we will have class from 10 to 12, 2 hours, of which the first session, first half an hour, or how much, that depends on the number of doubts and queries you students have. The first half will go with doubts and queries session, and from second half the teaching time, and Friday and Saturday there will be no class. So this is the format of the class that will be conducted.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, doesn't matter. Anyone else?
Sir, what's the undo and redo options? Sir?
Control Z and Control Y. Control Z and Control R. Control Z is for undo, and Control Y is for. When I have to check, I forgot. Let's say that Control Z, Control R, Control Y. Yeah, Control Y is for redo, and Control Z is for undo.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So I hope that you guys don't have any query up till this point, and I can proceed ahead with this big wall command. Yes?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, guys. So now we are commencing the 3D part, third dimensional part of this particular Revit. Okay. So in Revit, you have all this 3D drafting commands. Okay. On the upper ribbon, this is the ribbon. This upper ribbon and this bottom ribbon has the various functions and commands connected to it, which are the 2D commands. Whereas this architectural tab, structure, steel, precast, and system. This 4 tabs belongs to structure and MEP. What we will be dealing is with architecture, insert, annotate, and massing and site, a bit of collaborate, view, manage, and modify. Okay. So under this particular architectural tab, you have these panels, different panels. There is build panel, circulation panel, model, room and area, opening, datum, work plane, etc. Of this build and circulation, all has all this 3D drafting commands. Okay. And the working of Revit is divided into 2 parts. One is the 3D interface, and next is the 2D interface. 2D interface refers to the information that we feed to a particular building for its execution on site. That is the dimension, detail, text, tagging part, color fill legends, and symbols. Okay. First, I'll be teaching you all this 3D drafting commands in parts and pieces. Okay, that is individually. Once this entire, both this panel, that is the build and circulation panel, both of this are complete, we will execute one complete G+1 or G+2, a simple project like this. This was the project taken by me as a live project for the last batch. This was pretty much huge project. We won't be taking some huge project because that will that will take a long time. Okay, but what my point is that we will do that live project, and after doing that live project, I will show you the implementations of all this 2D drafting commands onto that particular live project. Okay, and this particular course, that is Revit BIM, will be conducted in 3 phases, where in the first phase we will be dealing with the basic Revit, that's the default Revit. Okay, up till the sheet composition part, as I shown in that particular live project. And the next two phase will be the parametric modeling and visual scripting. Okay, parametric and modeling, visual scripting will be just given the overview, and of which the milestone, or the you can say the perfect videos, the perfect the perfect benchmark videos, yeah, the perfect benchmark videos are there present in this particular September 22 file. Okay, that commences from 18 phase 2 parametric modeling, 18 up till so on 42. Okay, so all this videos will be referred by you, and since that was the first session and uninterrupted session without students, I was able to do that at full stretch, wherein each of the command is having 2 to 3 examples, which is not possible for every line session. So we will have a doubts and queries session for this, and I will give you the overview of this, and then you can practice seeing the video, and then I will give the doubts and queries session for this particular thing. Okay, but don't worry, you are associated with me for your lifetime. Your doubts and queries will be solved by me whenever you have any problem regarding this. Okay, so where we were, yeah. So now I will take this particular level markers, elevation markers a bit far. So we have a free canvas to work. Okay, and actually let me just delete this, we don't need it anymore. Fine, and before I lose anything, there's the save option, which is pretty much basic and similar to other softwares, and I don't want to lose this file, so I will just say that PTS and live classes. Okay, live classes fine, yeah, yes, replace. And now we will start with this particular wall command. WA is the shortcut. So whenever I click this particular wall command, you see that this particular properties pops up. Okay, what are these properties? These are called instance properties. Right? What do you mean by instance properties? Instance properties are the properties connected or associated with a 3D element which you can change instantly. Okay, so first is height and depth. Of course, we want the walls place to go in height, to elevate. Even if I click this depth, then this particular error warning message pops up. So this will always be height. Okay, and onto that, the next option is that since we have laid this level, so it's asking that where do you want to reference this wall to go up to. So I will say that for right now I want to go this wall up to first floor. Okay, if you want to enter any custom height, then you need to select just unconnected, and then you can enter that particular variable, whatever height you want your wall to go up to. But I will say that since we have placed this level, I would like the wall to go to up to first floor. Then location line, I will come to it later. Okay, with chain checked on, now I will start drafting, and you just see that I will place this WT, and we'll have this side by side view. Okay, and whatever you draft is getting created in third dimension. Fine. Okay. If I select this particular one wall and say SA is that select all instances, shortcut for select all instances in this entire project. Okay, now I'll again click WA, that is the wall command. What is next after this? This is chain. With chain checked on, it goes on drafting. If I uncheck this particular chain, and then if I snap to any of the point and draw the wall, and then it will not draw anymore, it will stop at this end. So that is chain checked and unchecked. Okay, next is this offset. Okay, I want that, let's consider that you have a pathway or a corridor which is having parallel lines. So I would like to say that at the distance of, let's say, 8 feet. So from this particular location line, it will draw a wall exactly at 8 feet distance. Right? So actually I was supposed to draw a wall first with 0 offset, and then with offset WA, with offset checked on, with offset entered a variable, I will select this point, extreme point, not 8 inches, here 8 foot. Yeah. I will select this extreme point and then I will draw a wall. So you see, you have a parallel wall. Okay. Let's say that you have these two walls and WA, the radius. I want this radius to be 1 foot. So the fillet is very less. So just delete it, and WA, and with the radius I will enter 5 feet and then I will draw. So can you see the blunt edges? Okay, you can delete this and you can join this wall. So just like fillet in AutoCAD, here under this modified panel you have several different drafting commands. Onto this is the command TR trim extend. Okay, TR is the shortcut. So I will press TR, I'll select this wall and I'll select this wall, and it's joined perpendicular and at 90 degrees to one another. Fine. So this was some instance properties connected to wall. Joint session allow and disallow that will follow in tomorrow's class because it is associated with something else. Now next is this wall center line, core center line, finished face exterior, finished face interior, and core face exterior and core face interior. Okay. To understand that, I will just drag this all up above, a bit above. And first of all, WA, and yeah, I wanted to show you this particular, see, this is line. By default, whenever you click any command, it accepts this line and create a straight line or chain of connected line segment. The next is this rectangle. So if I select this rectangle and draw, so that will draw the particular wall in that way. Fine. Now, what is this particular thing? Wall center line, finished face exterior and finished face interior. Core center line and core face exterior and interior I will show you later. First, I will show you that what is wall center line, wall finished face exterior and finished face interior. For that, I need to drop a floor and floor architectural. And with that rectangle selected, I'll just drop one floor. Don't worry, the floor is entirely one different command. And I will show you that when the time comes. Okay. So with that floor, I will select wall A, and with wall center line selected, I'll snap to this point and I'll start drafting. So what do you notice? You notice that it snaps to the center of that particular floor line. Okay, 1 and 2. Now, what I'll do is that while in that command, I have not deactivated the command, I just press the escape. Okay, and that command is still active. If I just select this finished face exterior and interior are one and the same. Okay, if I'll snap to this point and then draw the wall, then you see it snaps to the outermost point of the wall. And likewise, escape and finished face interior, and then I will snap to this point and draw the wall. Then it selects the outermost part of that particular floor. Okay. Finished face exterior and interior are one and the same. And why one and the same? Because if I select this particular thing, you see this flip arrow changes wall orientation. So you can toggle between interior and exterior anytime. Okay. So it is not that much fine. So finished face exterior and interior are one and the same. Okay. Now next is that what is this core center line, core face exterior and core face interior. Okay. To understand that, first you need to understand the wall assembly that comes with Revit. So this is the wall that we drew. But if I just take you to this particular command, WA wall, then you see that when you drop down this, then you have this bunch of walls that are designed by Revit. Okay. Exterior brick and CMU on metal studs, brick on CMU, metal stud and insulated and all the walls as per international standards. Okay, so if I just select this particular brick and CMU on metal stud, if I just draw one wall, then what do you notice is that you see that this particular wall, from here you can modify and you temporarily measure a dimension between, measure the difference between two reference points. So if I just measure this, then you see that it reads 1/3 of an inch, 1 foot 3/4 of an inch. Okay, and if I just select this to medium, then what do you notice? That it has some different structure than this particular wall. This is just a standard 8-inch wall. Okay, and if I just take you to the edit type, then these are the type properties which are connected, which are associated with the wall functions. Okay, what is the difference between type and instance? So first let me show you that. Type properties are the properties which will follow and which will stay true for all the elements of that particular type. For example, if I just edit this, and this is the assembly of a particular wall wherein you can enter the thickness. If I just enter here 1 feet 6 inches, okay, then how many whatsoever number of walls you might have placed in that category, all those walls will change to that particular thickness, that is 1 feet 8 inches, which you can measure it from here, 1 feet 6 inches. This is a temporary measure between two different two reference points. Okay, but what are instance properties are that we can change it instantly. For example, I'll just show you in 3D of this particular fold wall. If I select this particular wall, then you see this arrow. This arrow indicates that you can drag this wall above. Okay, you can change its properties instantly. So that is the instance properties. So just by dragging that wall above, you see that the top constraint is now changed to unconnected. Okay, with that particular top offset. Okay, so the unconnected height is 28 feet 8 inches in some ugly fraction and variable, and the top offset is this. So if I again change this to let's say some designated level, then you see that the base constraint is road level and the top constraint is 3rd floor terrace level, and it is also having some top offset. I'll change this top offset to 0. So now you can see that the unconnected height is grayed out and it is perfectly reading that 21 feet. And where can you cross check that from? While going to south elevation, you see that this particular from 0 to this 1st floor, the unconnected height is 11 feet 6 inches. Fine. No, this was that particular wall. So yeah, I'll just take this particular level line and select this point and drag it all the way here, so we can have something to reference to. So this particular wall, of which we have changed that instant properties, is now showing the top constraint to 3 foot terrace level, and this top offset is nothing but, let's say that this is the end of that, this is the last floor level, and then we have a terrace. So let's enter the top offset of 3 foot. So that 3 foot will be the parapet. Okay, so all this refers to instance properties. We will again see that all in depth when we will come to that particular thing. But right now what I was showing you was, let me again change this back to 8 inches. Apply and OK. And WT, TW. Fine. And what I was showing you is this, that this particular wall is having a different structure. See, this I took you to the edit type, and this has only this particular only this one variable, wherein the core structure is defined 8 inches. Fine. If I just select this particular wall and if I just go to edit type, and this is the dialog box, that is the type properties of that wall, and under that if I go to edit structure, joining very late, and if I take this edit type, then this is the assembly of that particular wall, and under this you see that you have various different layers connected to it. So it is giving a material, it is following some thickness, okay, and this is the anatomy of that particular wall, and that is why it is seen like that. Fine. So to make you understand the location line, so just see this particular location line. To make you understand that particular function location line, I actually also I need to make you understand this detail level and this visual style in order to understand that location line. Which that particular core face exterior. Sorry, absolutely sorry. I forgot the hierarchy of that. This is what happens while working in Revit. We sometimes forget. So architecture, and again one more floor architecture and rectangle, and let me just draw a simple rectangle. And yes, now WA, and with that same brick and CMU and metal stud, that particular wall, if I just select this core center line, core, and if I snap to this point, then you see it is not snapping to exactly center of that wall. It is snapping to somewhere else. Okay, somewhere else it is snapping to. And where to see that particular line? So under this visual styles, you have this wireframe option. Whenever you select their wireframe, the skeleton view of that particular thing gets activated. You can have a see-through. Okay, so this is that point where that wall snap to. If I just delete this and wall WA again, if I click this point, just press space, then you see that it is snapping to a line somewhere elsewhere. Okay, and again WA, and if I just change this to finish core face exterior, then too it will not snap to exactly exterior, but it will snap to somewhere else. Okay, and even if I press space, then you see. So why is it like that? So we need to understand this particular thing, we need to understand the assembly of wall that comes with Revit. Essentially this particular thing. Okay, and for that, the first thing is that I need to make you understand these two functions, that is the detail level. There is the level detail level, which is having three options: coarse, medium and fine, and this visual style, which is having the wireframe, hidden, shaded, consistent color, textures and realistic. Let's start. Okay, so to understand this particular three things, this is the detail line, which is showing the coarse, medium and fine. So coarse, if I just click this coarse, then you see that certain things disappear. Let me just fix it hidden lines. And this coarse and medium, see, when I turn it to medium, all this lines and this geometry changes. Okay, medium and fine are one and the same. The only thing is that coarse. Okay, what is coarse? Coarse is when you go to edit type properties. This is the coarse scale fill pattern and coarse scale fill color. Right now, I'll just select this particular cross hatch. Let me just show you to this particular wall, otherwise you will get confused. Edit type and coarse scale fill pattern. Onto pattern, I will select this particular diagonal hatch. Okay, these are just different styles that are defined by Revit. These are the different style patterns that are defined by Revit. Fine, and this is the color. Just change it to red. Okay, apply and okay. Now, what is that? If I just change this to coarse, then edit type, coarse scale fill pattern should be diagonal cross hatch and okay, apply and okay. Yeah, I forgot to. Yeah, so now you see that the visual representation of that particular wall has changed. Fine. Next is this medium. In medium and fine, that coarse will not appear. That is not much important, but just because it is the command, so I would like to, I thought that let me show you. Okay, again I'll change it to black, and that is the structure or anatomy or visual appearance of that particular 3D element that will show that will see in that particular detail level. Okay, apply and okay. Again, we are back to what it was. So next is, after this particular detail, we have this wireframe hidden, shaded. If I just click this hidden, then nothing really happened. But if I change it to shaded, then you see that the visual appearance of that wall in plan changed. Okay, that same pertains in 3D as well. If I change this to shaded, you see this particular wall, the appearance of that particular wall has changed. Fine. And if I say turn it to consistent colors, then again there's not much a drastic difference, but shaded and consistent colors are one and the same, only a little bit of glow difference is that. Okay, in earlier version of Revit, if I just take it to 2013, the versions of Revit less than 2024. So this was one major change, one major difference. So that's why I thought that let me just show you, because all of you will not be working on 2024. So if I just select this wall and select that particular same wall, fine. Then if you just click this, then you have all this category, consistent color, and then straight away realistic. You don't have the options of texture. Okay. On 2022, you have one more version. You have one more option, that is the ray trace. Ray trace will bring it to a state wherein your PC will, your workstation will get stuck. It is the actual render appearance, ray trace. So students who are using particularly 2022, never click that particular option, ray trace. Okay, and if I just take you to this, then what is the difference between texture and realistic? That is again a visual difference only. See, if I just click this texture, then it will show the actual appearance of that material applied to that particular wall. And if I just change it from texture to realistic, then again it will be one on the same, only the difference will be of a glow, that how much that particular wall will glow. It is just a visual difference. It's not it has to do with the render appearance, but when you will create the 3D rendered views of this particular wall, then that will decide that what you want to keep it, whether you want to keep it texture or if you want to keep it realistic. Okay, so I would always prefer going with realistic only. That is good for renders, good discipline for renders. Okay, so with this particular shaded, if I turn it to realistic in here also, then here it will also display the actual material of that particular wall. Okay, so right now what you are seeing is the actual material of that wall. Okay, onto this, if you just turn on this course view, then all that details will go. Medium and fine are one and the same, as I said. Okay, and these are the visual styles, which is shaded and consistent color, a little bit of gradient difference, and just like that, texture and realistic, gradient and glow difference. That's it. Okay, but what important to understand is that this location line, what I'm talking, that while if we selected center while drawing this particular wall, if you just see this location line, that is core center line. Okay, then you might be wondering that if it is core center line, then why is it not snapping to the center and why is it somewhere over here? To make you explain that, I will just take you to this type properties of that, and under that, this edit structure, you have this function exterior interior, one and the same. Okay, wrapping at inserts and end, that will follow from here, it will come to the later part, and wrapping at inserts and end, both are part of this only, this particular dialog box, and main is this dialog box. Okay, wherein you have this exterior side, interior side, and if you just turn on this preview, then you can see the same wall in plan. Okay, wherein this is the core boundary. So whatever is the main structure, that is the 6-inch structure, that particular core structure is always between the two core boundaries. Okay, and whatever layers, and if I to better make you better explain this, I'll just drop this down. then you see that you have this different categories, different typologies of layers already designed by Revit, wherein this is substrate 2, thermal air layer, finish 1, 4, finish 2, 5, and finally the membrane layer. Okay. Now, what are these layers? See, actually, except for this membrane layer and thermal air layer, except for these two layers, the other categories doesn't have any logical sense to it. Okay? It is just that what follows by substrate 2 is always on the exterior side of this core boundary, and whatever follows this finish 5 and substrate 2, that the finished 5 2 2 5, that follows on the interior side of the core boundary. Otherwise it doesn't have any logics to it. Okay, you can also change this to finish 1 4 also. Completely up to you. Okay, so that is the building of this particular thing, wherein you can see that this is the, if I just change the view and section attributes, then you see this particular layer is selected. This is the thermal air layer, okay, the cavity layer. This is the membrane layer, which I am always having a 0 thickness. This is the plywood shielding layer. This is the core structure, which is the metal stud layer. Okay, and this is again a membrane layer, which is also again having a 0 thickness, and this is the finish to gypsum wall board. Fine. So these are the layers. Okay, to understand that, edit properties, and the next after function, what next is that this is the thickness which is given to it, and this is the material part. Okay, that this particular material has been assigned to this particular layer, and that's why it is displaying like that in 3D. So I will just if I just click this particular point, then this material browser opens up. Okay, so now you need to understand this material palette that is designed by Revit. Okay, so from this point, I think that we will continue from this point next lecture, that is from tomorrow. And if anyone wants to ask any questions or doubts or queries regarding what all taught today up till this point, then you guys can go ahead. Because if I go beyond some limit, then you'll not be able to practice, and if that particular thing what all taught today, if not practiced on that particular same day, then things will pile up, go on piling, and things will delay. So what my point is that you guys practice up till this point, and from this material palette we will continue tomorrow. So if anyone have any doubts or queries, or generalized, if anyone wants to share anything or ask anything regarding this course or regarding Revit or anything, then you guys can go ahead. He or she can go ahead with that. Yes, किसी को कुछ पूछना है regarding the functionalities? Yes, Mohit, go ahead.
सर मैं पूछना चाह रहा था, जो रेविट जैसे मेरे लिए नया है अभी,
Yes.
तो मैं ये पूछ रहा था इसमें क्वांटिटी और जैसे अपने ये क्वांटिटी और ये निकाल सकते हैं क्या?
Schedule and quantity.
जी सर।
दिल्ली बहुत दूर है मोहित, अभी तो हमने
नहीं, दिल्ली
start
बहुत
किया।
स्टार्टिंग है। नहीं मैं वही पूछ रहा हूँ, है स्टार्टिंग है।
हाँ,
मेरे लिए तो बिल्कुल नया है, मैं तो एक्चुअली साइट इंजीनियर हूँ।
ओके ओके
और
ओके,
ठीक है सर।
फाइन फाइन।
तो मुझे जैसे क्वांटिटी निकालनी है किसी भी टाइप की, तो वो रेविट के अंदर पॉसिबल है ना?
Yeah, definitely. That is what I said in the initial beginning of the class, that this is the platform where building information modeling, मतलब all the information enacted to a particular 3D element, you can schedule it, quantify it. For example, you have area schedule. See, this is the area. the different types of spaces in that particular project. This is the area schedule, this is the door schedule, door ki thickness, the number of doors on that particular level. For example, the door D2 is having 2 counts. There are two instances of type door D2 placed on that particular level, first floor, of which thickness is this, width is this, height is this, costing is this, fire rating is this, description, that which company does it belongs to, manufacturer, everything, all the information you can feed. Okay, और it's not like AutoCAD के वो line checks बना के आप करो. You just have to enter the fields related to this particular thing, edit type, schedule, door schedule, and edit type.
Okay, sir.
And you just have to enter, not edit type, sorry. Fields. You have to enter this field, all the fields that you want. You can select from this and you can add it, and that is how, once added, you just click OK and your schedule is created, which you can take to Excel and take a printout of it. You can also compose it on sheet. You can also compose it on sheet. And not only the schedule part, material takeoff भी हो सकता है. जैसे for example, you see that on the plain ground floor, this is the retaining wall and the area material is this. Okay, everything wall material takeoff. You just so see, base constraint is this, compound wall, तो इसका ये base constraint है, इसका top constraint unconnected है. Then this is its length, this is its material area and the material volume. You can add the cost factor also by going to field. I can enter the cost and I can enter the description and everything, each and every information you feed. And that is why Revit has been proven to be the best software for information modeling. I don't know whether any other software does this or not. I don't know whether it is possible in ArchiCAD. Anyways, see, this is how you can structure your particular schedule on sheet. Yes, anyone else? Anyone else, anything? Yes, Pooja, go ahead.
सर वो WT वाला जो टाइल व्यू वाला जो कमेंट आपने बोला ना, वो वाला 2017 में क्या नहीं है?
नहीं है, और वही
17 का जो वर्जन है उसमें
नहीं, that
लेकिन मैंने वो किया लेकिन हुआ नहीं वो.
Okay, see, what you need to do is that just go to this view and user interface and just go to keyboard shortcut and tile view. Just type tile view. So onto that tile view, the shortcut will be mentioned, and if it is blank, then you just enter your own shortcut, tile view, whatever is shortcut. Let's say, what's your surname?
Mundul.
PM. Okay, and assign and delete this. Okay, and I will let me just enter, open up, and I will enter PM, and that will open the tile view of that. Okay. An expanded view के लिए TW, the opposite of WT. So that you can also change. Fine.
Okay, so
and that will
और
pertain.
मुझे और एक
Let me complete. That will pertain to only this particular project. Okay. अगर दूसरा प्रोजेक्ट एंटर करती हो, ओपन करते हो आप, तो वापस आपको वो चेंज करना पड़ेगा. Yeah, what was the another question you wanted to ask, Pooja?
सर ये वॉल जो कमेंट है इसके अंदर बहुत सारे टाइप्स ऑफ वॉल्स हैं. तो हम लोग जैसे काम करते हैं तो उसमें हम लोग डिटेनिंग वॉल बेसमेंट के लिए यूज करते हैं, और ऊपर जो ब्रिक वर्क होता है उसमें लाइट जो रेड ब्रिक होता है कॉमन ब्रिक वो वाला, और AAC ब्लॉक ब्रिक यूज करते हैं. तो यहाँ पे तो बहुत और भी ब्रिक्स हैं, तो वो सब कहाँ पे यूज होते हैं वो भी क्या आप बोल देंगे थोड़ा, जब वो वाला सिखाएंगे तो उस टाइम पे कि ये वाला ब्रिक जो होता है कहाँ पे यूज होता है, क्योंकि मैंने कभी इतनी तरह का ब्रिक्स कभी यूज नहीं किया मैंने वॉल के लिए, ब्रिक्स या फिर जो भी है वॉल के अंडर में. तो वो वाला अगर बोल देंगे कि ये वाला जो होता है तो ये इस जगह में यूज होता है तो थोड़ा अच्छा रहेगा.
that depends from the vicinity you belong to, your neighborhood, the company with which you are working. Okay, this particular walls are as per international standards, and forget about national and international standards. That depends upon the designer, architect पे depend करता है कि for example see, अगर ये particular मैं देख लूँ ये इसका 3D if you see, then you see that this particular basement, this is the basement wherein all the footings and tie beams and everything has been provided here. So this particular wall, if I'll just select this particular wall, just a second, I can regenerate. Yeah, so if you'll just select this particular wall and if you go to its edit type, then you see that this is the retaining wall, but that is, and it doesn't have any layers, but that is the decision taken by me that it should be a retaining wall, and this should be its thickness, and that should be its visual appearance. Okay, that depends upon designer to designer, and that what kind of wall you want. I will show you in a generalized concept of Revit में how to design a different types of wall category. For example, if you just see this particular wall that comes with Revit, so you see that the base is different, then the top is different, then you have this cornice, you have this depressions, and you see everything is different. So you have to design that, you have to learn how to design that, and that will be followed in tomorrow's or day after tomorrow, but the coming 2 to 3 days, that will be shown to you guys that how to design such type of wall. Okay, clear?
Yes, sir. Clear. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, anyone else? If anyone if anyone wants to ask that what is the use of this and how this will benefit us, this BIM course, what are the prospects of this course, then let me tell you that BIM is the future of construction industry, AEC construction industry, BIM future, because the most the biggest flaw these days we as a designers we are facing is the coordination of different disciplines, of different agencies and different disciplines of drawings and all that, which is structured here in Revit. सब कुछ एक मतलब on one platform. You see, let me just open up this file and new project, and you see this imperial multi-display. If I open up this particular template file of Revit, then this template file is not in any of the other versions earlier than 2024. In earlier versions than 2024, this particular template file is not available. But if you see here that this is the architectural thing, then see electrical coordination refers to structure, electrical, mechanical, plumbing. Structure तो अलग है. This might be something else. Coordination, and you see that everything in one place, everything under one umbrella. So this is going to be the future of construction industry. This particular software. If you want to appoint yourself as a BIM coordinator or BIM engineer on site, then learning this software will help you a lot. Okay, so that is what I wanted to tell. So if anyone doesn't have any doubts or queries, then can we end up today's class here? Sir, Centerline. Yeah, so go ahead, ask. Which chat? Do you mean WhatsApp chat? Sir, structure engineer का career में भी BIM कैसे help कर सकता है? So just imagine that you are a structural engineer or site engineer, और अगर आपको Revit structure perfectly आता है, तो as I said, you have this. See, let me just show you yourself. Where is that my project? If I just select this particular footing and this column and this beam, let's say that isolate category. Then within your architectural model, you have your complete structure. I am not a structural engineer, so this structure is not that much in detail, but footing hota hai and everything. When that segment comes, when the architecture segment is over, you will be enrolled with the structural segment. So pile foundation, pile caps, retaining wall, its scheduling, its quantification, its quantities, everything you can do with Revit. Okay, so that is how this particular thing. When your horizon is third dimension, then you just imagine that how you will stand out, how differently you will stand out amidst all your site engineers or all your colleagues. You will definitely stand out, and your knowledge will definitely gloom. That's all what I can say regarding the structural part. Yes, go ahead.
Sir, actually, I wanted to know about that BIM. Like, I've seen somewhere like BIM 200, BIM 250, 300, 350, 400. What is it exactly?
That is a LOD, a level of detailing. मतलब BIM किसी को आता है?
Will it be taught in our BIM?
Sorry?
Will be taught in our class?
That is not any particular course or not any part of course. That is just level of detailing का मतलब है कि up to what extent do you know Revit or up to what extent have you explored Revit. That is the level of detailing. मतलब हमारे what I will teach you will include everything up till the LOD 500. I will teach you everything. But then it depends on individual that how much he or she will explore, put in efforts. I am using Revit in 13 years, 2000, not since 10 to 12 years. I started using Revit in 2013 and 10 years. 10 years I am using Revit, but still I can say that I know only 60 to 70% of Revit. So one life is not enough to learn one complete software, but that depends on how much efforts you put in. When the world is yours, the sky is the limit. Sky is the limit. I will teach you everything regarding which needs to be boosted to boost you up. Then that depends on individuals' efforts. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes. Anyone else? Yes.
Hi. I just want to know, like, how would you suggest me to train on whatever you're teaching daily? For example, today you teached about the units, grades, and levels.
Yeah.
So, would you recommend me to start working on a project, or like only to use the tools which you taught us and just to train on it?
Are you new to Revit?
No. I know a little bit, but I'm just asking, like, whether we'll be starting working on a project like later, or should I start it like as we are going on?
See, what I advise to you is that you follow the lectures regularly.
Okay.
And you follow the hierarchy, and you follow the format. The reason being that if you will jump directly to constructing a project, then there will be lots and lots of commands which will be left over.
That's the reason why I asked. Yeah. Okay.
So that will be a lot of because it might happen that during constructing a complete project, you might use only 10 commands or 15 commands which are of your use. But then when you are working on some different typological, मतलब residential project में जो command आए वो industrial command वो industrial project में आएंगे ऐसा नहीं होता. वो ऐसा नहीं होता. Residential project में भी it depends on what type of elevation treatment you do, what extent you deliver to. Here is that where LOD comes in picture. That is the level of detailing you provide. तो एक project में सब कुछ explain करना और सिखाना is very difficult for me also. So just follow the hierarchy and step by step में जितना सिखाता जाता हूँ उतना सीखो, and live project will be only for 5 to 6 days. उससे ज़्यादा होगा भी नहीं live project.
That's the reason why I asked. Like, I thought like with the live project we have to like keep working on it. That's the reason. Whether to start it now or like later. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Live project will just be the revision of all the drafting commands onto a particular simple structure. It will be a G+1 or G+2 और इतना बड़ा भी नहीं होगा पिछली बार की तरह. Last time I by mistake selected a very huge project, so it was like it was a crunch of 10 to 15 days during the online session. इतना huge project लेने का कोई मतलब भी नहीं है.
Okay. That's it. Thanks.
Thank you. Yes, anyone else? I hope that I was able to reach up to your expectations for BIM, and I conveyed it well. And I hope to see you, all of you, who are not enrolled for the course. I personally request them to enroll for the course, and let's learn together and let's grow together. Okay, so tomorrow 6:30 p.m. sharp we'll meet again. Until then, you guys need to practice this, and yes, from today onwards, whatever is taught and whatever you practice, all will paste the screenshot of your work, of you working on that particular platform on your workstation.
सर मेरा एक सवाल था.
Yes, Mohit, go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Bolo. I said Mohit, go ahead. Am I audible? Yasin?
Yes, you are audible, sir.
Oh, yeah, Mohit, there might be internet issue at your end because I cannot hear your voice. What I can see is that you have just raised your hand. That too you have lowered. He will join again, I guess. So guys, 2 to 3 minutes more. Let him join again, or his doubt or query will. Yeah. Tell me, Mohit. We were waiting for you.
सॉरी सर, वो लेफ्ट हो गया गलती से.
नहीं तो इसीलिए तो मैंने वेट किया.
मैं ये पूछ रहा था, जैसे कि MEP के अंदर अपन जैसे पाइपिंग और वो सब इसमें कर सकते हैं रेविट के अंदर. आई थिंक
सब कुछ कर सकते हो यार.
प्लम्बिंग का तो उसमें डिस्चार्ज और ये मेजर होता है क्या सर?
क्या होता है?
डिस्चार्ज, जैसे पानी का फ्लो उसमें कितना रहेगा, या फिर MEP के अंदर शॉर्ट सर्किट या कुछ वजह, मतलब इस तरह से उसमें वापस रीचेक कर सकते हैं इसके अंदर.
सब कुछ हो सकता है. मुझे देखो, आई एम नॉट अ मैकेनिकल इंजीनियर, तो मुझे इतना नहीं पता, बट व्हाट आई नो इज दैट एवरीथिंग इज डन इन रेविट. एवरीथिंग, सब कुछ होता है, और उसकी एक झलक मैं तुमको दिखा देता हूँ. आई जस्ट शो यू द LOD, लोड कैलकुलेशन, सब कुछ होता है. सी, जस्ट व्हाट यू आर आस्किंग वाज रिगार्डिंग प्लम्बिंग ना? हाँ यार.
यस सर, प्लम्बिंग.
So let me open up the sample plumbing project. Good question. This will clear up the doubts of rest of the students. But architecture segment खत्म होने के बाद MEP शुरू होगा, and that will be dealt by another tutor. Okay, that will not be dealt by me.
Yes sir. No sir, I'm just asking for some doubts of Revit.
No, but don't do that. Okay sir, चलो तो जब MEP शुरू होगा तो मैं क्लासेस अटेंड करूंगा. अगर आर्किटेक्चर नहीं आता ना रेविट पे, तो ना स्ट्रक्चर कर पाओगे ना MEP कर पाओगे. आर्किटेक्चर इज द मेन बेस, मेन मॉडलिंग बेस ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर सॉफ्टवेयर. ओके, स्ट्रक्चर एंड MEP आर जस्ट द बाय प्रोडक्ट्स ऑफ दैट. तो अगर आर्किटेक्चर नहीं आता तो ना ही स्ट्रक्चर कर पाओगे, ना ही प्लम्बिंग कर पाओगे, कुछ भी नहीं कर पाओगे. So is my screen visible?
Yes sir.
Yeah. So this is the sample file that has been given by Revit 2024 version. This file is too heavy, so that's why it is not working properly. आई थिंक दिखना तो चाहिए, दिख नहीं रहा. चलो पुराने वाले वर्जन में ट्राई करते हैं.
ओके सर, होता है तो मतलब मैं समझ गया, कोई इशू
नहीं, पर वेट. बात छेड़ी दी है तो फिर कंप्लीट करके ही खत्म करते हैं ना.
ठीक है.
मैकेनिकल, या सी ये सब कुछ मुझे तो समझ में नहीं आता, बट mechanical है, but yeah, see, so this is an architectural project which is grayed out in this mechanical template, and just like this mechanical stuff, you can also lay all your plumbing stuff, that is piping and everything.
Okay.
Yeah, so that is, I don't know why that's not highlighting here. Yeah, that should highlight. Can you see this points? Let me turn it to wireframe. दिख रहे हैं pipes?
Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the piping system.
Okay.
ये Revit की नई जो टेम्पलेट फाइल्स है ना, जरा मुझे भी एक्सप्लोर करनी भी बात.
Right.
Okay. Anyone else? Yes. Thank you all of you very much, and I wish that today the people who attended this session and not part of this course, I wish that they would enroll for this course. And it was very interactive session and lot of questioning and lot of answering, and I enjoyed it a lot. So thank you who are not part of this course. I wish all of you that tomorrow everyone who is not even part of this course would join the class. Okay, so thank you and see you. Goodbye and have a nice time.